Hello and welcome to Calendar.
Coming up tonight, gross failures and missed opportunities. Days after suffering severe headaches, a young mother dies from blood clots on the brain.
It's ripped his family apart, basically. You know, we've got a little boy now that's never going to know his mum.
A North Yorkshire gamekeeper who was secretly filmed beating a protected bird to death appears at court to be sentenced.
In sport, Leeds overcome an early scare at Derby to book themselves a place in the FA Cup fourth round.
And I'm at Anfield, where Barnsley will look to join Leeds in the next round. To do that, they'll need to knock out Premier League champions Liverpool.
Natasha Hewitt died following gross failures and missed opportunities in her care, which deprived her of the swift access to hospital treatment that she so desperately needed. In the end, a week after complaining of severe headaches, the young mum from Sheffield died from multiple blood clots on her brain.
Well, now, after an inquest found her death could have been avoided, her grieving husband is calling for patient information to be more widely shared among health professionals in the hope of preventing others suffering the same loss that he has. Nick Hewitt has been speaking to Michael Billington.
Come here then.
We were married, we had a family, we were trying for another baby, and that all just got tore apart.
Natasha Hewitt's death and her husband Nick and their son Harry's loss could have been prevented, a coroner ruled. Her inquest cited missed opportunities to save her life after blood clots on her brain were initially mistaken for an ear infection. Despite her family seeking medical advice for migraine-like symptoms from her GP, the 111 service and an NHS walk-in centre, Natasha died in hospital in Sheffield in December 2022.
From the 11th of December till the 18th of December, she just got gradually worse. I had to just watch my wife deteriorate as she reached out to the GP surgery, as she reached out to the walk-in centre, as she reached out to 111. And, you know, the result is she died.
In what's been described as a gross failure, the 111 service wrongly recorded that Natasha wasn't suffering headaches, despite her saying 3 times that she was.
An ambulance should have been sent out, but it wasn't. It got to Friday morning. I called an ambulance myself, and they came out. They took her up to the Northern General, and that's where it was discovered that she had a very large blood clot in her brain.
Yorkshire Ambulance Service, which handles calls to 111 in our region, has apologised to Natasha's family, adding that the incident was fully investigated and insisting they have made improvements to the care and services we provide. The NHS walk-in centre was also unaware that Natasha had a history of blood clots, which also ran in her family. Nick is now calling for patient records to be shared more widely among health organisations.
There was a family history of blood clots, but like I say, they don't have access to your medical records at the walk-in centre, so they wouldn't know that unless she'd specifically told them or they've asked.
Something that I hope really comes from Natasha's case is to demonstrate to clinicians, to healthcare providers, the importance of listening to your patient and the importance of accurately documenting what's discussed for the record so that other providers, other colleagues, clinicians can follow that trail of information.
Why?
Because they don't want chasing, they don't want eating, do they?
Their hope to prevent others suffering the unimaginable heartache Natasha's family has gone through.
It's ripped his family apart, basically. You know, we've got a little boy now that's never going to know his mum.
And that was Nick Hewitt talking to Michael Billington, and we're grateful to him for sharing his story with us. An inquest has opened into the deaths of 2 people who drowned in the sea at Withensea 10 days ago.
45-year-old Sarah Keeling, who was from Sutton in Ashfield, drowned after going into the water. She attempted to rescue her teenage daughter, who'd been swept away.
Mark Ratcliffe, who was 67 and originally from Bradford, died after he went in to try to save them both. The body of 15-year-old Grace Keeling still hasn't been recovered. From Withensea, Sally Simpson reports.
In a brief hearing at Hull Coroner's Court, the inquest confirmed Mark Ratcliffe and Sarah Keeling both died here on the 2nd of January from drowning. Mark was a 67-year-old retired warehouse manager from Bradford. Now living in Withensea, he was dragged unconscious from the sea and had also suffered chest injuries. 45-year-old Sarah had gone into the water after her daughter Grace had been swept in by a freak wave. The inquest confirmed Sarah had also drowned, as well as sustaining head and neck injuries. Over the weekend, mother and daughter were both remembered in their hometown of Sutton in Ashfield, as St Mary Magdalene Church opened its doors for people to pay their respects, lighting candles and saying prayers. 15-year-old Grace is still missing, presumed dead. Today, Coroner Lorraine Harris adjourned the inquest to a future date yet to be set, to allow evidence to be gathered from all those involved in the search and recovery operation. Sally Simpson, ITV News, Withensea.
Meanwhile, the family of a 2-year-old girl who died after falling into a pond on Christmas Day tried to save her with CPR, an inquest has heard. Isabel Maxwell died following the incident in the garden of the family home in Doncaster. Her aunt, Abigail, said it was a tragic accident that has been a living nightmare for the family.
The Charity Commission has launched a review into the management of Wakefield's National Coal Mining Museum. Since last August, 40 members of staff have been on strike over a pay dispute. A museum spokesperson said they're engaging fully with the Commission. The regulators said while they don't have a role in matters over pay and employment issues, they will be looking into whether the museum is fulfilling its charitable purpose.
Still to come, it was a stag do down at Bramall Lane as Mansfield Town ran riot against the Blades. All the FA Cup action shortly.
And on Song, we meet the primary school children set to perform for thousands at one of Yorkshire's biggest music venues. A former gamekeeper has been fined after admitting beating a protected bird to death on a game shooting estate in North Yorkshire.
Distressing footage of the crime has been released by the RSPB, and a warning that our next report starts with images from that attack.
It was carried out by Thomas Mundy on the estate where he'd worked near Malton. Today, Mundy appeared at Scarborough Magistrates Court. Our reporter Rachel Bullock was at the hearing.
With no idea he's being filmed, gamekeeper Thomas Munday, fully masked, is captured beating a buzzard to death. The protected bird was trapped, posing no danger or threat. Unmasked today, 35-year-old Munday, here in the light trousers and open neck shirt, walking with his barrister, admitted the charge. Are you ashamed of what you've done, Mr Munday?
Not at this time. It was all said in court. Thank you very much.
Why did you do it, Mr Munday? Why beat a bird to death?
You were in court. You were able to hear what was said in court.
Magistrates heard that Munday was employed by a management company which had the lease to run pheasant shooting operations on the estate near Malton. When that footage was uncovered in 2024, that lease was terminated, landing Munday out of his job and also the home he rented on the land. In court today, Munday's barrister told magistrates that his client had done an incredibly cruel thing. It was a disgusting aberration, and Munday knew it was wrong, which is why he'd covered his face while killing the bird. The buzzard was caught in a legal trap used to control crows, which can impact the young pheasant population on shooting estates. The RSPB now regularly hides covert cameras near these traps to ensure protected birds are not destroyed. Today, they called on the government to tighten the law.
Fully protected birds that the public love are being killed on some estates by gamekeepers, and this has to stop. The government have to step in here and they have to licence estates, which means that these things will be consigned to history.
Munday from Gillamore in York was fined £1,215. He's now retrained as a tree surgeon, his barrister telling the court that he can't explain why he killed the bird, but is full of remorse for his actions and accepts his gamekeeping career is over. Rachel Bullock, ITV News at Scarborough Magistrates Court.
Derbyshire has been named as one of the worst local authorities in the country for failing to do enough to repair potholes. That's according to a new government rating system. The region has been rated red, meaning it's not spending government money effectively to maintain roads. Derbyshire County Council strongly refute the findings, saying the backlog of potholes since May last year has been cleared.
Now then, if payday is still a couple of weeks away, you might be trying to save money. You might be trying to save money anyway. One way could be checking exactly what money is coming out of your bank account.
Well, research shows around 20 million of us have monthly subscriptions we don't remember signing up for. And some of those we might neither want or need. James Webster can tell us more.
Whether it's a gym membership you're not using often enough, some sort of delivery subscription, or a monthly payment for films or TV shows, many of us, according to experts, are paying monthly fees for services that we're not always using. So, how often do we check our bank accounts, and do we really know what we're paying each month? We've been out in Leeds city centre to find out.
Or I try and stay on top of it, but I've definitely fallen into that before, and I've noticed, like a couple months worth of subscriptions that I just haven't used.
I'm trying to think about it now. I think maybe Paramount Plus, but only that, yeah.
And then they catch you with that 3 months free, and then you end up forgetting, and then you're paying it down the line. So yeah, this year I've gone through and cancelled a lot of mine.
It's estimated 20 million people have signed up for a subscription without realising. 4.7 million are still paying for one they didn't ask for, and it can be costly. HSBC estimates consumers can save an average of £34 a month by cancelling unnecessary subscriptions.
The concern for us is consumers who perhaps sign up for something for a trial or a free offer or a reduced price for a period of time, but then inadvertently get caught up in a subscription that they perhaps don't want or need. And even more concerning for us is consumers who actually end up signing up for a subscription service where they're unaware they've done so, and unfortunately perhaps take several months of payments before they realise that it's something they've just never ever encountered and wanted to sign up to.
But if you do want to keep the subscription, then there are actually other things you can do to bring down the amount that you are spending on that subscription in the first place. For example, let's say you've got the premium version of it. Do I actually still need the premium version? Would the standard version work for me? It might mean I have to watch an ad or two during the programme itself, but will that make a big difference, and actually you make a big saving as a result of that?
If the experts are right and we all did cancel the subscriptions we don't need, we would be left with extra cash to spend before the end of the month. James Webster, ITV News.
I'm off to check straight after the programme.
I know, you could be a lot richer, couldn't you, if you just found out?
Yeah, £34 a month you could save there.
Yeah, soon mounts up.
Not bad. Now, next tonight, we all know how important it is to keep active, with many of us using smartwatches or apps to track our daily step count.
Yeah, I've got one here. I've got one for Christmas, actually.
Like it?
Yeah, I do. I'm managing, about 8,000 a day? So that's as long as the weather's good. If it's not so good, then it's less.
Well, the magic number has always been 10,000 steps a day, but you might be lucky because experts are now saying that target might be higher than it needs to be. So Laura might be OK after all. Here's Amrit Birdie.
For this walking group in Sheffield, there's no better way to spend their free time than to get outdoors and get their heart rate up.
Walking keeps you well mentally, physically and socially engaged, so it's absolutely vital.
It's done me a lot of good. I go out walking 3 times a week, and this walking group has been the very thing I needed.
It just gets me out in the fresh air and keeps me fit and everything, keeps me moving.
The benefits of walking every day are nothing new. But with the popularity of smartwatches and fitness apps, more of us are setting a goal of 10,000 steps a day, as it's widely believed to be optimal for our health. Hannah Lawler has taken this to the next level, taking part in the 10,000 Steps for 30 Days challenge on social media.
I like walking, I always have Fitbit on. The first one I did was I wanted to do 10,000 steps on the Stairmaster, and I wanted to do it unbroken, so every day I went back and did more steps until I hit it, which started off hard, but then I was really engrossed in it, so I actually managed to do it within 4 days.
But is 10,000 really the magic number? Dr. Daniel Bailey is a sedentary behaviour and health expert and says most of us could aim for a lot lower.
A number of decades ago, when the first pedometer was released by a Japanese company, the 10,000 steps was very much used as a marketing ploy. There was a large study that was published in 2025 that did show that set up to 7,000 steps is probably where you're going to get your optimal health benefits from. Just accumulating an extra 1,000 steps per day from where your starting point is beneficial for health as well. That's going to go a long way in terms of reducing health risks like cancer, diabetes and cardiovascular disease.
So, if your New Year's resolution was to get fit, it might take slightly less effort than you originally thought. But there'll be many of us, like Hannah, who simply love the challenge of hitting 10,000 steps a day. Amrit Birdie, ITV News.
Go on then, how many do you do?
Well, I don't know because I don't count them. But quite a lot. Not so many sat in the office though.
Quite a lot.
Obviously. Now, time for some sport, talking of keeping fit. Chris is here. And Chris, last week you were at the premiere, of course, about a world boxing champion from Sheffield. And, well, now we have another.
We certainly do, Ian. Yeah, Prince Nassim, eat your heart out. There's a new kid on the block. His name is Dalton Smith, and on Saturday he became the WBC light welterweight champion.
Powering local sport in the community. Octopus Energy sponsors ITV Regional Sports Report.
Now, what is it all about? Sheffield and champion boxers, eh? On Saturday night, Dalton Smith became the 7th fighter from the Steel City to win a world title. And this is how he did it. A devastating right hook from Dalton that floored the champion Sabril Matthias, who went into the fight in New York as the favourite. Now, the Puerto Rican did actually beat the count, but the referee judged he'd taken enough punishment over the fight and awarded Dalton the win and the WBC light welterweight belt, much to the delight of Dalton's dad and trainer Grant there, who celebrated in the ring with his son.
A lifelong dream of hard work, sacrifice, and it was all for this moment. You know, the journey we've been on, my dad, granddad, whole family, my nephew here. Like I said, it was just all worth it, and I always knew, I always believed. So there's a message to anyone: if you believe in yourself, go out and chase your dreams.
Ah, fantastic message. What a night for Dalton and for Sheffield then, Chris.
Incredible night, incredible night. We could have another big night as well, in South Yorkshire.
A town not far away.
Yeah, this will be a real underdog story as well, Lara, wouldn't it? Maybe Barnsley can take inspiration from Dalton's win on Saturday and topple one of the giants of English football. Tonight they take on Liverpool at Anfield in the 3rd round of the FA Cup. Well, Arif Ahmed is there for us this evening. Now, Arif, it's going to be a tough one for Barnsley tonight, but history is on their side, isn't it?
Yeah, it certainly is, Chris. Not many teams can boast at the fact that they've not lost here at Anfield for 69 years. Barnsley are one of them. Granted, they've only played each other 3 times in that period. They've drawn 1 and won the other 2. Now, the last time these 2 teams faced each other was way back in 2008 in this competition, the FA Cup, and it was a famous February afternoon for the Tykes. They came from behind to win 2-1 with a last-minute winner, and Barnsley legend Bobby Hassel was in that squad that afternoon, and he's been speaking to me over the weekend, and he's thrown the gauntlet down to this current crop and urged them to write their own chapter in Barnsley's history.
It's a great platform. There's a lot of young players trying to make their way in the game. You know, there's no better night and occasion to go and make your name than going out to the Premier League champions and putting on a performance. That'll be my message as someone that's been there. Enjoy the occasion, but also go and perform.
Well, that's all in the past, though, Arif, isn't it? What about the present day Barnsley? What's their form like going into this one?
Yeah, not great, to be honest, Chris. Barnsley haven't won any of the last 4 games in a run stretching back to the middle of December. Not great when you come into the home of the current Premier League champions. But on the other side, what better way is there to turn that form around and cause a big upset? Now, there are a couple of Liverpool fans in the Barnsley squad. One of them is defender Josh Earl. Now, he is excited to come to Anfield and play here, but he knows he's coming here with a job to do.
Enjoy the moment, enjoy the build-up, enjoy the warm-up, you know, enjoy clapping the Barnsley fans at Anfield. But as soon as the whistle goes and we cross that white line, we have got a job to do at the end of the day, and that's whether that's win or whether that's give a really good account of ourselves to the Barnsley fans. We're going into the game hopeful. They might have a weakened squad. So, it's one of those things that we will enjoy the moment, but we've got to be very focused as soon as the whistle goes.
Well, there'll be a strong contingent coming from South Yorkshire across the M62 to support Barnsley here tonight for a 8 o'clock kick-off. It will be a tall order, we know that, but history is in their favour, and let's hope they can write some more history this evening.
Let's hope so. Arif in Liverpool for us this evening. Enjoy the game tonight. Well, best of luck to Barnsley. You suspect they might well need it. Well, we've already had one giant killing in the third round of the FA Cup this weekend. League One side Mansfield Town beat Sheffield United from the Championship in a 4-3 classic. Now, it was a special afternoon for Louis Reed, who actually began his career at Sheffield United. He scored 2 cracking goals before Lucas Akins, and then Rhys Oates put the Stags 4-1 up. The Blades made it interesting, scoring twice to make it 4-3, but Mansfield held out, much to the relief of their manager Nigel Clough, who himself was once in charge at Bramall Lane.
Just an all-round, I thought, brilliant day for everybody, every single supporter, and it's another great memory for them. Beating a Championship side, first time for 55 years. That means an awful lot. We've had a few good moments in the last 5 years, and this is right up there with them.
Well done to them. Well, neither Sheffield club will be in the draw for the fourth round that takes place very soon. Wednesday lost to Premier League side Brentford, but Leeds will join Mansfield in the hat after coming from behind to beat Derby 3-1. However, despite a spirited comeback, Doncaster bowed out, losing 3-2 to Southampton. Just a couple of games in the Football League as well. Huddersfield beaten by a stoppage time goal at Stockport in League One, whilst Harrogate also left it late to earn a point from their trip to Crewe. Tom Curzon's goal enough to lift them off the bottom of League Two. And finally from me, this time last week, you might remember I paid a visit to dart sensation Charlie Manby, who works as a bricklayer in Wakefield. Well, I'm afraid Charlie may have to hang up his tools, because this weekend the 20-year-old from Flockton won a 2-year spot on the Professional Darts Tour at qualifying school. Well done too to Charlie and to Tom Sykes from Castleford, who also landed a tour card at Q School.
Brilliant.
Yeah, great news.
Great news.
Really
Thank
good.
you.
You're welcome.
Now imagine following in the footsteps of pop icons and performing in the country's biggest arenas, all before you've even got to secondary school.
Well, for the past 30 years, thousands of children from the Calendar region have been given a once-in-a-lifetime chance to perform in the Young Voices Choir.
Now this year's cohort are polishing their vocal cords as they prepare to sing in front of thousands at Sheffield Arena. Hannah Ludlow reports.
They've got the voices and they've got the confidence to get on stage in front of thousands of people. These children at the Charnock Hall Primary Academy in Sheffield are rehearsing for the concert of a lifetime. They'll be singing at the city's Utilita Arena next month.
I'm really excited, but I'm also kind of scared because, well, there's a lot of people watching me.
I feel really excited because I can meet loads of new friends on the way. I really like how we learn new songs and new dances every week, and I just make new friends.
They get out a sense of belonging, really, in a separate group that isn't just their year group or their classroom. They develop their confidence, they have their own little quirky personalities that they bring into it, and also developing their singing, dancing.
It's been 30 years since the charity Young Voices held its first concerts. It's been around so long that some of the band and crew were once in the choir themselves. Organisers say its magic is growing year on year.
If you're 10 years old and you get the chance to perform at your local arena, which is usually reserved for pop icons, you're with all your mates, you're singing for a sold-out house, and to the person you love most in the world, because your parents are there, and you walk out at the end of the night, you feel 10 foot tall.
These children are getting a taste of what's to come in rehearsals on the stage they'll soon be performing on. Britain's Got Talent star Connie Talbot has been a long-time supporter of Young Voices.
I think it's such an important part of your childhood to, even if you're not into music, to be able to experience it and, pick up an instrument or sing out loud to an audience. Yeah, I think there should be more access to music for young children. It's really important.
Soon, these seats will be filled with proud family and friends, excited to watch their children sing their hearts out. Hannah Ludlow, ITV News.
Oh, it's a brilliant experience, and our cameraman Adam has even done it as well, so that shows you how long it's been going.
I'm sure he's in fine voice still to this very day, Lara.
Yeah.
Sure
It's Ross now with the weather.
Today's forecast: seafood and sugar cube towns. TUI sponsors ITV Yorkshire Weather.
Hello, good evening. Now, we did get to see some brighter breaks, even sunny spells today, but the clouds never been too far away, bringing some patchy rain and showers. And although we do have some clearer skies developing at times overnight, there's more in the way of cloud as we head into tomorrow. To compensate, not as cold as we've seen today, patchy rain and showers once again will start to spread in as well. So pretty much a repeat performance. Low pressure's nearby at the moment, keeping things changeable. Those showers, the patchy rain, but the mild air from the south. Overnight tomorrow into Wednesday, briefly a ridge of high pressure develops. That's going to calm things down. Clearer skies, lighter breezes, but also means a chilly start into Wednesday morning. Dry and bright for the most part, but later on, cloud and further spells of rain spreading their way in from the west. For now, as we head through this evening, generally dry, breezy at times. Those winds still come up from that southerly direction. Cloud increasing as we head into the early hours. And with this combination, we're going to see temperatures holding up at around 5 or 6 degrees. So again, not too chilly as we head into Tuesday morning. No risk of a frost. Bit of mist and murk around first thing. And again, there is plenty of cloud. Where the cloud is thick enough, we're seeing a few spells of rain. Those will tend to develop as we make our way into the afternoon. But it will be hit and miss. The brighter colours, though, showing the odd heavier burst in the mix there. And like today, temperatures just about reaching double figures. We've got highs around 9 or 10 degrees. Through Tuesday and into Wednesday. So this messy picture clears through down towards the southeast. We get that ridge of high pressure, calmer conditions. The blues on the map here showing a widespread frost into Wednesday morning, but it's drier, brighter, a bit chillier, highs of 6 degrees. And later on, the cloud thickens, spells of rain spreading their way in from the west. So up and down through the next few days, more unsettled into Thursday. Temperatures holding up at around 7 or 8 degrees.
TUI sponsors ITV Yorkshire Weather.
I bet your cats are happier with this week's weather.
Yeah, they're a lot happier, actually.
They wouldn't go out last week, would they?
They hated it.
It was too cold for the poor things.
Yeah, well, it does feel a lot warmer, which is good news. Well,
Yeah.
that's all for now. I'll be back with our late news at 10:30. Mary is next.
Bye-bye.
Good night.